Keiichi. Keiichi? Just leave him alone. His friends went missing. It must be really hard for him. Normally my dad never shows me any consideration, but this time he did. Thank you. Shouldn't Keiichi stay home from school for a while too? I think it would be safer not to go until the police do something about this. Maybe. Compared to what could happen, taking a few days off wouldn't be a bad idea. Anyway, how is it logical not to close school during such a dangerous situation? What do those teachers think our children are? Disposable. Mum and Dad were getting pretty riled up, but at this point I couldn't care less. Besides, that wasn't the only thing I couldn't care less about. The breakfast table, the food in front of me, the time and date myself. I really had no interest in anything. This feeling, it was like a dead fog in my mind. It felt like getting dizzy after taking strong medication. Keiichi, how are your studies going? You've gotten further than the other kids, haven't you? If you have, then you can take a few days off, alright? I didn't even feel like answering. Today was Thursday. Only 4 days had passed since the Watanagashi festival. Such a short time, and yet now things were completely different. Everything had changed. The tranquil village, bright and clear as if it were an Indian summer, had undergone a total reversal. People were made to disappear every night, and we couldn't even relax when walking out in broad daylight. The village had become a world of fear. I had no right to curse this outcome. After all, the one responsible for everything, was me. That night, I couldn't resist my honestly tiny little and incredibly stupid curiosity, and broke the taboo. This isn't somewhere we should be going, is it? Let's not. It's a crime to force your way into a locked building, even if you didn't steal anything. Shion, now that you know they weren't having some secret rendezvous, you've had enough, right? I don't want to do something like this. What if Higurashi dance ends whilst we're messing around here? I patted on as I took the lock from Tomitake-san and put it back on the door. I'll forget everything I saw here, so come on. Let's go, let's go. Takano-san was fretting, but I pushed her away. Tomitake-san grinned painfully. Shion's shoulders drooped as if to call me an idiot. Even so, I didn't care. If only you could redo that action, eh? I pushed everyone further and further away. Higurashi's dance was still going on. Then at last her dance was brought to a close with a roaring applause. I too, until my hands turned red, I clapped, and I clapped. I don't need to say what happened. Isn't that Rena-chan? Is she here because it's your usual meetup time, isn't she? I looked up at the clock. It was 5 minutes past my time to meet up with Rena. Keiichi, shouldn't you take a few days off from school? You're right. Thanks for being so considerate. I rose from my seat. I went to the entrance to greet Rena. Good morning. We're going to school as a group starting today, so you can't be late. That's right. If we, the ones furthest away, were to be late, the younger kids on the way would be waiting for us. I think I'm going to take some time off from school. Okay. Rena answered shortly, nodding. I think you should do whatever's best for you, Keiichi-kun. Though you don't need to feel that you're weak or anything. Oh, and here. It's a notice they're sending around. Could you give it to your mum? I think it has a lot of important announcements in it. I took the notice. There were a lot more pages than normal. The ones on top announced the disappearance of the mayor, Higurashi and Sakuto, and that they wanted any information about them. It made my heart ache. The police are looking as best they can too. They'll find them for sure. Just be patient. Okay? Rena said, smiling in an attempt to give me courage. Rather than that, though, her smile looked like it was because she herself wanted to believe they were safe. Rena, you're not going to question me? Nope. Rena, you know, don't you? About that night, when Do you mean when you stuck into the ritual storehouse? I was speechless for a moment, but then I bit my lip, made up my mind and nodded a little. So it's all out in the open. Really, I shouldn't do bad things like that. Mi-chan was really mad, though she was upset. I suppose she would have been. I don't think she was as angry about you sneaking in there though, as much as about you hiding it from her. Maybe, Kei-chan, maybe you should have told her yourself and apologized. I should have told her myself and apologized. That troubled me. Just 1 week ago, I did something that I myself should have apologized to Mion for. I hurt her badly. However, I hadn't realized that at all. Plus, with all the confusion that Shion's appearance had brought, I still hadn't been able to talk to Mion about it. Rena, you're right. I never realized anything until you tell me. Keiichi-kun, hypothetically, if you had admitted you've done something wrong right away and apologized to Mion, and apologized to Mi-chan, I wonder if Rika-chan and Sakuto-chan wouldn't have had to disappear. Ooh, that's a sharp stab to the heart, that question, isn't it? I couldn't answer right away. I couldn't admit to that. Wasn't Rena telling me right now though, that I should have admitted to my crime sooner? If I had done that and apologized, but things have not gone in such a horrible direction. Rena's eyes were filled with kindness, but they weren't naive enough to forgive me for keeping silent, and they stared fixedly into my own. Yeah, you're right. If I had admitted my crime sooner, then Rika-chan and Sakuto wouldn't have had to die or disappear. Oh fuck! Smack, eh? The palm of Rena's hand slapped me in the cheek. I stood there, unmoving, my head still tilted in the direction I'd been hit. It didn't hurt at all. I don't think that anyone has scolded you, Keiichi-kun, so I'll scold you in their place, okay? I pressed a hand to my cheek, now warm with embarrassment, and quietly stared down at Rena's feet. Going somewhere you're not allowed to go was a very bad thing to do. Do you understand that? Uh-huh. Answer me with a yes. Keiichi-kun. Yes. Also, what's even worse, you didn't admit to having done something so bad. You should never do anything bad in the first place, but not admitting to it or apologizing for it is much, much worse. Yes, I was wrong. For a few moments, Rena stared at me silently and intently, as if gauging my remorse. Then, finally, the tension in her face softened and she smiled. Okay then, it's about time. I should be going. Alright, be sure to give the notice to your mum, okay? Also, warn her about not to go out to pass it on after it gets dark. I bent down to pick up the notice, which I dropped when she slapped me. The pages had come out of the clasp and were now making a mess on the floor. I gathered them up one by one. My hand stopped at a single, more lighted-hearted page with peaceful sentences dancing on it. What does it say? We still have plenty of homemade soy sauce in stock. Feel free to come to the Sonozaki house if you want some. What is this? I picked up the page and scanned the rest of it. They were stockpiling high-quality soy sauce they got from a faraway relatives in the Akita Prefecture. They had gotten a big shipment recently. They couldn't use it all, so they wanted anyone who wanted some of it to feel free to come over, is what it said. As a PS, it said it arrived in barrels, and to please bring a 2-litre bottle or other container for it. That's how it tied together. If you need some soy sauce, then you would go to the Sonozaki house. Rena, did you know all along? Yeah, I knew. Rena had already been suspicious of Mion as soon as she noticed that the big bottle of soy sauce was missing. Rika-chan had taken the bottle and gone to Mion's house, and there she was erased. Rika-chan wasn't coming back, so Sakuto called Mion's house since she knew where they had gone, and then Sakuto got called there as well. That meeting on the day the mayor disappeared, didn't Oshi-san say that the 3 families participated in it? The 3 families would include the Sonozaki family. Didn't he also say that the current leader was really old, so her heir Mion frequently stood in for her at public appearances? Now the mayor was returning from the shrine. Mion called out and stopped him. He talked to him and invited him to their house, and then he made him disappear. It was probably even simpler to make Shion disappear. Shion was part of the Sonozaki family. They probably knew exactly what she was doing doing at all times. I'm sure they even knew about her part-time job schedule too. Thinking back, wasn't that Angel Malt store managed by the Sonozaki family? Setting up an ambush for her there wouldn't have been any trouble at all. I'm going to Mion. I'll go apologise. I'm going to have her put an end to everything. Mion probably won't forgive me easily, but I'll go and ask her not to sacrifice anyone else. With that decided, there wasn't any need for me to be lazing around here. I put on my shoes and slipped past Rena to exit the house, when she stopped me. I'm going too. Rena, shouldn't you go to school? This is way more important than school. Rena, you shouldn't come. If you get wrapped up in this, then I think I might actually go crazy. Rena didn't move her arm, which was blocking my way. If Keiji got disappeared as well, then I think I might actually go crazy too. So I won't let you go alone. Let them both go crazy. Rena argued boldly as tears welled up in her eyes. I saw them and knew the strength of her resolve. Alright, let's go. Thank you, Rena. Rena nodded slightly but firmly and finally let down the arm blocking me. Let's go. To Mion's house. I apologise for the crimes I've committed. Then we'll put an end to these twisted days. After that I'll pray that once more we can return to those fun, lively days